Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to another edition of NoDQ Live here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ. Smackdown Live just wrapped up. Was it better than Raw? I would say it was better. A little bit. A little better. How's it going to everyone in the chat room? Thank you for tuning in. Kayfabe Candy Ass is here. He says, "You'll always be stuck with me, Aaron." Lovely. Kayfabe Candy Ass. No, seriously though, Kayfabe Candy Ass is a great guy. I appreciate you guys that have been supporting NoDQ.com. Some of you for many years, and that is totally awesome. I really do appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. You guys don't even know. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about SmackDown Live. The show kicked off with a lengthy tag team match. It went about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more than 30 minutes. We had Randy Orton, as Jinder Mahal might say, and Bob Roode, as Aiden English might say, teaming up against Jinder Mahal and his tag team partner, who turned out to be Rusev. Rusev was added to this match. The match was good. It was a fine match. I just felt like, did it have to be so long? I don't feel it was necessary for the match to be as long as it was. I'd rather see more stories on SmackDown and more wrestling at the pay-per-views. That's just my philosophy on it, how I feel. I felt the match was too long. I think it went 2 commercial breaks, maybe even 3. I wasn't really paying that much attention. I know it was 2 for sure. But anyways, the gist of the story, what you need to know, is that Rusev pinned the United States champion Randy Orton due to Orton being distracted. Orton had gotten knocked for a loop by Bob Roode as a mistake. I think Jinder Mahal knocked Roode into Orton, and Orton retaliated with an RKO. And then when Orton turned around, he got hit with the Mashka kick, and Rusev pinned Orton. That led to, later on in the show, Daniel Bryan, during a commercial break, adding Rusev officially to the match for the United States Championship at WrestleMania. So at WrestleMania, it will be a fatal 4-way match for the United States Championship. We have Randy Orton defending against Bob Roode, Jinder Mahal, and Rusev. So good for Rusev. He's not in the Andre Battle Royal. He's not in the Dre. He actually gets to be in a title match at WrestleMania. There's still hope for Rusev Day. Good for him. And the match will be better. I think this improves the match. Quite frankly, I wasn't really feeling the triple threat that much. But with Rusev added, I feel like this will elevate the match and make it better and more fun to watch. The crowd is going to be behind Rusev Day. Almost certainly, he's going to be the fan favorite in this match, despite the fact that he's a heel. Rusev Mania is what Aiden English is calling it now. Converse Craig says, "Aaron, you should have subtitles in your videos." Doesn't YouTube have subtitles? I thought they did, but maybe they don't. Who knows? Virtue is here. Big Jeffrey thinks it's going to be a kickoff match. I would be shocked if Randy Orton was in the kickoff match. I really would. That would legitimately surprise me. And not a lot in WWE surprises me these days. Randy Orton being in the kickoff match really would. There's got to be a couple of kickoff matches, though. And it's something people have been debating about for weeks, which matches are going to be in the kickoff. Right now, I'm thinking it's going to be the Cruiserweight title match, which, you know, it is what it is. I feel if WWE's trying to really get 205 Live back on its feet, you have to put it on the main card. But unfortunately, you have two guys that are not really that over with the majority of the fans. Maybe to the small portion of the audience that watches 205 Live, but most of the fans really don't care about the cruiserweights. So I'm thinking that's going to be a kickoff match. The women's battle royal, I feel that's going to be a kickoff match too. Maybe the men's, at least one of the battle royals will be a kickoff match. And I'm thinking there'll be a third. The question is, which one? Which title match potentially could be on the kickoff? I don't think the U.S. title match is going to be on the kickoff. I'd be really surprised, like I said. Let's move on here and talk about some of the other segments on SmackDown Live. Charlotte was not on this show. She was pulled from the mixed match challenge, and I believe Becky Lynch is currently teaming up with Bob Roode against Sasha Banks and Finn Balor. We had... I'm trying to remember the women's match now. Somebody needs to help me. This is bad. I need to take notes when I do this video, but I want to get the video going as soon as possible. It was one of the Riot Squad members against Becky Lynch. That's it. Becky Lynch beat her, and I believe she was attacked after the match by the other two Riot Squad members, and she was able to fight them off. So Riot Squad, basically, they're done for in terms of having any type of credibility at this point. Becky Lynch, I feel, has to be the odds-on favorite to win the Women's Battle Royal. I mean, who else would win this Women's Battle Royal? Who do you guys think? If you had to pick somebody, who do you think is the favorite to win? I will be putting up a poll on NoDQ.com soon to get your guys' input on that match, as well as the Andre Battle Royal. Bayley and Sasha are in it, though. I'm seeing people mention Bayley. I see Ember Moon's name being thrown around. Sasha Banks, Natalya. It's all over the place. I don't think there's perhaps any clear favorite, but I'd like to see Becky win it personally. That's just my take on it. I think she's due for a big push. And considering she pretty much took out the entire Riot Squad in a 1-on-3 situation, I say go for it and push her to the moon and do her versus Asuka or her versus Charlotte. Maybe her versus Asuka if Asuka wins the title. You could have that be Asuka's next big match to set that up over the next couple of months. I mean, I'm guessing Charlotte will get a rematch, but maybe Money in the Bank or SummerSlam, you put Becky Lynch in there against Asuka. That's certainly a possibility. Converse Craig says, when are you going to have your WrestleMania prediction video? That will be up on the NoDQ review, I believe, next week. I will be doing that video with good old JM Jeff Meacham, PA Sensation, and the returning NoDQ Virtue. Virtue's Rage will be back. The suspension has been lifted, and the four of us, the NoDQ Horsemen, will be doing predictions for WrestleMania. Stay tuned for that. That is coming up soon. Virtue is free, just so you guys know. Good behavior. Just like if you go to prison, you're serving your sentence, you get out early on good behavior. Virtue is back. No veto, guys. It's going to be the four NoDQ Horsemen, myself, Jeff Meacham, Virtue, and PA Sensation. The Wrestling Trivia Challenge champion, by the way, Greg Cherry. Make sure you follow those guys at NoDQ_Virtue, at _Jeff Meacham, and it's Meacham, not Meacham, Mee. So just wanted to clear that up. And of course, at PA Sensation for Greg Cherry. Now, let's move on and get back to the SmackDown show. We had Daniel Bryan come out. This is the big story, I feel, of SmackDown. Daniel Bryan came out. He was limping a little bit, acting like he was beat up, not doing the yes chant, selling the attack from last week by the fired Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And I have to say, I like how Kevin Owens changed his Twitter handle to Fight Steen Fight, and the return of El Generico on social media with merchandise on Pro Wrestling Tees' website. I thought that was a nice touch, but I think it would have been cool to take it one step further and actually have El Generico versus Kevin Steen at some random indie show just to shake things up and get people talking. But that opportunity is already passed, unless, of course, the good guys win at WrestleMania. Maybe we'll see some sort of deal where Steen and El Generico show up at an indie show. It would be interesting. So Daniel Bryan came out and he announced that at WrestleMania he is proposing himself and Shane McMahon against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So that's correct. Shane McMahon will be at WrestleMania unless WWE pulls a bait and switch at the last minute. Stephen Osborne is here. At work, just stopped by to say hello. How's it going, Stephen Osborne? Thank you for tuning in and leaving the super chat donation. I appreciate it. Everyone's wondering what's going on with Shane McMahon. Is he really hurt? Would WWE really do a storyline with him having diverticulitis, whatever it's called? I can't even say it. I'm not even going to try to say it again because I'll just keep messing it up. I'll be stuttering like Porky Pig. But it's the same disease that Brock Lesnar had several years ago. And he's Shane McMahon. I guess the idea is that Shane McMahon is so tough that he can come back from this and be at WrestleMania. Diverticulitis. I think I said it correctly. I don't know what the deal is with Shane McMahon. I really don't. They said he had a hernia. I was suspicious about the whole WWE.com announcement from the get-go. I feel like it's an awful coincidence for Shane to be getting seriously sick and hospitalized legitimately right at the same time we just had this big angle on television and Brock Lesnar's contract is up soon. The whole thing just felt fishy to me. Now maybe something is going on with Shane. Maybe he really did get sick. But the fact that it was announced tonight that Shane McMahon is going to be at WrestleMania makes me think he's good to go. Whatever's going on with him, maybe WWE's exaggerating it. Maybe Shane is sick to a degree. He is going to be at WrestleMania unless WWE does do some sort of bait and switch. Like I said, it's always a possibility that next week WWE will say Shane cannot be at WrestleMania. It is a very weird angle for them to go with, as Kayfabe Candy Ass points out. If he says if the illness is legit, there's no way he will go to WrestleMania. And that is true. If he is sick and it's serious and he needs to have surgery, then yeah, WrestleMania doesn't sound doable. So we'll see what happens. I mean, next week we could see a bait and switch, or maybe Shane will be okay and he'll be able to do the match. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com. I'm sure there'll be more details about what's going on with Shane McMahon. Fake Jabroni said another solid Daniel Bryan promo tonight. I agree. Bryan was really solid. Bryan said he doesn't want to be the corporate guy wearing the blazer and going to corporate meetings and filling out paperwork. He wants to get in the ring, and at WrestleMania he's going to kick their asses. Of course, referencing or referring to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The Great Khali says, Shinsuke was good on the mic tonight. I will get to that in a few minutes here, talk about Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. So yeah, as of this moment, it's Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. If Owens and Zayn win, they are reinstated. If they lose, they're still fired. So, interesting stipulation for the match, I suppose. I mean, for me, it doesn't really make sense to have Shane and Bryan lose, for Bryan to lose his first match back. So perhaps they'll win and Owens and Zayn will jump to Monday Night Raw. There's reportedly going to be a superstar shakeup coming up after WrestleMania. You could have some sort of trade. I could see that happening. I would just be surprised if Bryan lost his first match back. And no, Bryan is not turning heel. I see all these comments about Bryan turning heel. He cannot be a heel again and draw money, at least. That's my opinion. You know, he's kind of like Ric Flair at this point. Ric Flair circa 1998. When Flair came back, he got such a great reaction in Greensboro. Actually, no, it was Greenville, South Carolina, excuse me. Flair got such a deep emotional reaction from the fans. They were never going to boo him again. And when WCW turned him heel in 1999, it was a bomb. It flopped. Not a Flair flop, just a flop, period. Much like Austin turning heel in 2001, Bryan going heel at this stage of the game is a terrible idea. And I am saying that right now on the record. I think it would be a tremendous mistake to turn Daniel Bryan heel. He should never be a heel again. Bad business, in my opinion, to turn Daniel Bryan heel. Nobody's going to boo the guy. It's not going to work. So I am very much against that idea. Just like turning Ric Flair heel in 1999 was beyond dumb, turning Austin heel in 2001 was also beyond dumb. The same could be said about Daniel Bryan turning heel. Now, let's move on here. And by the way, one last thing about Daniel Bryan. I'm not sure how you guys felt and if it was the same reaction that you guys had watching SmackDown, but watching SmackDown for me, it seemed like the crowd really wasn't invested in much except for Daniel Bryan and his promo. Daniel Bryan coming out there, the crowd woke up and they were loud as hell for Daniel Bryan. It felt like pretty much everything else, the crowd was just, they reacted decently to people. Even Bob Roode, there was like little to no reaction for him. New Day got an okay reaction. Rusev got a fairly good reaction, but nothing too significant. Yeah, I agree with you, Jeremiah Dorsett. Rikishi turning heel in 2000 was another terrible business decision. You don't turn guys heel when they're red hot and the fans love them. You turn a guy heel when the crowd is sick of that guy and they want change. That's why Hulk Hogan turning heel in 96 was such a big hit, because the fans were just sick and tired of Hulk Hogan as a babyface. Hulkamania was played out. He was getting booed most of the time, and WCW took a chance and turned Hogan heel, and business was on fire from that point. Hogan went from the biggest babyface to the biggest heel, and business was red hot when Hogan turned heel and formed the NWO. Who knows if the NWO would have worked if Hogan had not turned heel? I mean, no doubt Hall and Nash had some influence, but Hogan turning heel was a really, really big deal for a lot of people. And the reverse effect, heel doink going babyface was stupid. That was one of the biggest examples of the worst heel to face moment in wrestling. But I've actually done videos about this. We've done NoDQ panels about it, so you guys should check them out if you haven't seen them, or feel free to check them out again. We did a couple of videos talking about heel to face transitions and which ones were really successful, which were not, and vice versa, face to heel transitions. Let's get back to SmackDown Live and talk about what else happened on this show. So we have Dolph Ziggler in the Dre, officially. Poor Dolph Ziggler. He was gone for 6 weeks. It felt like maybe this would be the beginning of something brand new and exciting for Dolph Ziggler. And he just comes back and he's there. And he still has that damn record scratch. Why? Why does he still have that record scratch? God, that just annoys me right there. When is he going to get rid of that? Seriously. It's like nobody even cares enough to get rid of it. He's not doing the gimmick anymore. I don't get it. But anyways, Ziggler defeated, I believe it was Tyler Breeze, but I'm not sure. It might have been Fandango. I really wasn't paying attention. It was a filler segment. What else am I forgetting on SmackDown? The main event. We had AJ Styles out at ringside in the corner as Shinsuke Nakamura went up against Shelton Benjamin. Fine match. Decent. Not much to it, though. Shin won. After the match, they had a little confrontation. Shin got on the mic. Knee to face. Blah, blah, blah. It was fine, I guess. He patted AJ on the head, which people laughed at. Whatever. Can't say it really got me excited for the match. I know the match will be great if they're given the time for it to be a great match, but the build-up for me, it's been so-so. Virtue says the mic turned heel on Nakamura. Phenomenal One says the fake-out was great. Grant Hudson says the promo was awful. Kurapika07 says Shin should turn heel. Rate this SmackDown. C+, maybe. Yeah, I'll give it a C+. I liked Rusev winning, getting added to the match. I liked Bryan's promo. Everything else was okay. I also wanted to mention the tag team situation. We had the Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day. It ended with the Bludgeon Brothers going for their rubber mallets. They were going to attack the New Day with the mallets. Usos made the save, and then it was announced that it will in fact be a triple threat tag team match at WrestleMania for the titles. Alex Magic 14 just left a $1 super chat donation. Thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate it. It's the Costanza says, what if Road Dogg got drafted to be creative for Raw? You guys really don't like Road Dogg, do you? Anthony says, have I ever taken a bump? Well, I went through a table once, right here on this channel, for that matter, if you want to count that. But actual bumping in a wrestling ring, no, I cannot say I have. So therefore, my opinions are completely invalid, and I have no idea what I'm talking about, if that's what you're implying with that question. Sean says, love your t-shirt. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Who won the Mixed Match Challenge? Asks A. Milano 20. I am actually not watching it right now, but somebody could let me know what happened with the match at 7:30, so I'm assuming the match is over. Tom says Bob and Becky won. There you go. So I guess they're in the finals now. That's WWE's way out of not having to have Charlotte versus Asuka before WrestleMania. But apparently that was legitimate. Charlotte having oral surgery. She had a gum infection apparently, and that's why she was not on the show tonight, either on SmackDown or the Mixed Match Challenge. So that means it's Rude and Becky Lynch against Asuka and Miz in the finals. Pretty much exactly what I predicted. Obviously, Charlotte's not in it, but I expected Charlotte and Rude to face Asuka and Miz in the finals, with Asuka and Miz winning the whole thing. And that's what I'm predicting. So yeah, next week is the final match of the Mixed Match Challenge. I will have that on live next week and give my immediate thoughts. This week I was like, I'll skip it this week. So I think I covered pretty much everything from SmackDown. Decent show, but did not blow me away. I did think it was better than Raw, but that's not saying a whole lot. El Virtuoso has been deported. He's back in Mexico. Apparently, he did not file the proper paperwork, so he's gone, and Virtue has been reinstated on good behavior. The NoDQ review will be back this week with myself, Virtue, good old JM Jeff Meacham and the wrestling trivia champion Mr. PA Sensation Gregory Cherry. And Virtue wanted to remind you guys that in about a half hour from now, if you're watching this live, 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, there will be a special Virtue's Rage with Virtue and Big Jeffrey. Mike Nixon says, we need you as a writer, Aaron. I would never do it if they offered it to me, which I don't think they would. By the way, if you guys were ever curious about how I would put together a wrestling show, check out NoDQ CAW. There's a YouTube channel with all the old videos. It's the CAW Fantasy League I used to do about a decade ago. Over a decade ago, actually, about 12, 13 years ago. There's a channel, youtube.com/NoDQCAW Vault. And you can watch all those shows. I put together all those shows creatively, and a lot of people liked it. So that would give you a little bit of insight as to how I would book wrestling if I was writing wrestling. And I actually did do a lot. I did a lot of writing and putting together scripts that I would talk about the storylines and all that sort of stuff Well, I actually did do promos with characters, very bad voiceovers, but I tried. People did like it, though. Nelson sent a $1.99 super chat donation. Plan B if Shane cannot make it to Mania. I would assume whatever the plan B was if Daniel Bryan was not cleared for WrestleMania, whether that was Rey Mysterio or Chris Jericho. For Jericho to show up, Jericho would have to cancel his concert, his Fozzy concert, which is scheduled for the day of WrestleMania in New Hampshire, and I don't think that is happening. So I'm sure they would come up with somebody, whatever their backup plan was if Bryan was not going to wrestle. Offman Rules just left a $20 super chat donation. Love you, Offman Rules. Missed your video last night, making up for it tonight. Thank you, Offman Rules. You're great. And like I said at the beginning, you guys are awesome. I really do appreciate all the support. You guys help this site. You keep it going. You keep me motivated. All the support here. I really do appreciate it, guys. Maybe Macaulay Culkin will step in. You know what? That means no Macaulay Culkin Rusev at WrestleMania. I'm sad now in a way. I'm kind of bummed out. I was hoping Joe Pesci would show up and we'd have some Home Alone hijinks. But I guess it's not going to happen. Paul Jackson, 1988, just left a $5 super chat donation. Thank you, Paul Jackson. Glad Virtue is back on the No DQ review. What happened to Jexy, or is it something you prefer not to talk about? I did address this on Twitter. I was actually not going to say anything, but Jexy finally issued a statement on her Twitter account. She did, in fact, quit because I made No DQ beach balls. For those of you that don't know, she is training to become a wrestler, and she was legitimately offended that I made beach balls. And that's pretty much there is to it. She quit the site. She unfriended me on Facebook. She unfollowed me on Twitter. So you know it's pretty serious. And it's not a work. It's not part of a No DQ storyline. I know you guys will tend to think that, but she's not going to be back on the channel. The door is open, though, if she wants to come back. The door is open for her to come back. Same thing with Big Vito, but he's got other projects going on right now. Yeah, she's still following Virtue, so she's pretty upset with me, but, you know, I cannot please everybody. I got to do what I think is best for my business, and I thought it would be fun to have beach balls. I never told anybody to bring them to WWE shows, so that's that. That's all I have to say about it. I wish her well. And the ship goes on. The ship rolls on. Braden says, have you listened to Fozzy at all? I have listened to Fozzy quite a bit, especially since I went to the Fozzy show in Portland a couple of weeks ago, which I really enjoyed. Jericho put on a great show, and I think he's got a solid band, you know? I enjoy Fozzy, and props to Chris Jericho for being able to balance wrestling and doing a rock band. He does what he wants to do with his life. You know, Jericho is a great example of how to live your life. Do what you're passionate about. and just follow your instincts. And Jericho, he takes time off from WWE. He does his band. He can come back to WWE and be a fresh face again. Guy is incredibly intelligent, in my opinion, and deserves the success that he has. I always thought Fozzy was a reference to Fozzie Bear, but I'm not actually sure of the reasoning behind the name of the band. I'm sure he's explained it before, but I always thought, first thing when I heard his band name was Fozzy, I thought it was a reference to Fozzie Bear. But maybe somebody says it's a play on Ozzy inspired. Okay, see, I thought it was a tribute to Fozzie the Bear, but I think that's funnier. Yeah, a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's a combination of both. Offman Rule says it's for Fozzy Osbourne. There you go. Maybe it was a reference to both. Don't you wish you were me, says Jeremiah Dorset. I have no idea what he's talking about. Devin says he hates the name Fozzy. Royalty Ray says Fozzy is a dope band, but the Muppet is better. Waka waka waka. Mike D says, whatever happened to the NoDQ panel videos? Jeff was busy with things. Virtue was busy with things. I was busy with things. But we're hopeful to get some more videos going. You know, the real focal point right now, though, is the NoDQ review. And we're going to be doing NXT predictions this week. And then next week, we will have our big WrestleMania predictions video. So stay tuned for that. Lots of great content coming to the NoDQ channel. Fake Jabroni says make some NoDQ boxers, and somebody said make some NoDQ fidget spinners. I think Pro Wrestling Tees already beat me to the punch with the fidget spinners. There's still plenty of beach balls though. So if you guys want to pick up a NoDQ beach ball, the beach balls that ruin friendships, email me, nodqmisc@gmail.com. And there's still some left, and I will send you the info on purchasing a beach ball. There's still some left. And we got belts coming up soon, courtesy of Bad Billy J. Let me give him a cheap plug. It's twitter.com/badbillyj, I think. Actually, don't quote me on that. I do know his Etsy store, though. It's etsy.com/shop/badbillyj. He makes the cool action figure championship belts. He's made some NoDQ belts. Check out his site. He's a really good guy. Does a great job with those belts. NoDQ gold chains. Ooh, Kevin says apparently beach balls ruin more friendships than the blue shell from Mario Kart. That is the line of the night. Maybe the Savage line of the night. I like it. You win, Kevin. You win tonight for the best comment in the chat room. Jason Veal says, shout out from my YouTube channel. Fake Jabroni says, that was a good line, Kevin. Anthony says, no DQ shoes. Hamp Connell says, I need a no DQ pen for my job. I do like the no DQ pen idea. I might have to do that next. Mark Brown says, Lars Sullivan to be called up. Actually, you get bumped now because Jordan Smith just left a $2 super chat donation. What should go on last at Mania? Should Taker win? That is the $1 million question. Which match should go on last at WrestleMania? I'm going to wait until after Raw to give my opinion on that. I need to see how the Go Home show sets up the matches for WrestleMania, and really SmackDown too for that matter. I need one more week because next week it's the final build for WrestleMania, and that could make or break some matches. I gotta see what the final build-up is before making a final prediction or recommendation on what I think should happen. Romney says, no DQ beach balls, they bounce friendships away. Great line there. Aaron Joel just sent a $2 super chat donation. What do you think about the Moolah allegations? Well, there's been some people that have come out and have defended her. I mean, they're allegations. There's no real proof. She's dead. Nobody really knows except for the people that were directly involved in whatever happened. whatever happened, she took to her grave. As far as Snickers getting involved and the outrage over it, I mean, it's weird because there's so many other things that people could get offended over too. I mean, the Hall of Fame, for instance, convicted rapist Mike Tyson in the Hall of Fame, Steve Austin beating Deborah and still being honored and showcased. Hulk Hogan, of course, WWE did fire him, but they could potentially bring him back, you know. The whole thing is just silly, but, you know, WWE has to make their own judgment calls. They're a corporation. They got to do what they think is best for business, but, you know, I don't know about the Moolah stuff. There's different stories. Who knows what's true? Who knows what's not true? It's really hard to say. Big Jeffrey just left a $5 super chat donation. My contribution for the night, proud to rep NoDQ for life. I appreciate that, Jeffrey. Like I said, I am so grateful to the people that continue to support me and NoDQ.com and the people involved. You guys are awesome. Sometimes I'm controversial. I am openly straight edge, atheist, libertarian. You guys still support me. You guys are awesome. I just try to give you guys the best product that I can. I've been doing this for 20 years. All I can do is my best effort. I try to keep it real as much as possible. I try to avoid conflict, despite what people think. Some people think I'm an instigator. I just like to have fun. Life is about having fun. It's too short for drama. I just want to have a good time and have fun. You're either on the NoDQ bandwagon or you're not. I cannot please everybody, but for those of you that are happy and entertained, thank you guys. Thank you for supporting. And no matter how much I try, I cannot get rid of Virtue. Virtue is like, he's like a dog that is humping your leg. You just can't get rid of him. Virtue's a great guy, though. I'm proud to call him a friend, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with him at Money in the Bank and Money in the Bank weekend in Chicago, and everybody else that comes to the NoDQ meetup. So let me go ahead and do a cheap, quick plug for that. NoDQ meetup, 20-year anniversary in Chicago. Jexy has withdrawn from that, but Virtue will be there. A couple of other people from the NoDQ team are possibly going to be there, and hopefully we get a good turnout for that. Head over to NoDQ.com for more details, or there's links in the description box where you can RSVP for the events. Offman Rules just sent in another $20. He's so generous, but this time it was just a $2 one. I'm a Catholic who supports NoDQ.com and Aaron. Well, thank you for that. You know, I love everybody for who they are. Doesn't matter your race, your religion, your gender. Everybody is cool with me. We're all human beings. Let's love and support each other. Life is too short for arguments. You know, you argue with somebody, you know, whether you're guilty or not, apologize to them, make peace with them. You know, you never know. Tomorrow they might be gone. So show your appreciation for people, whether you have an argument or not, whether you disagree with them. You know, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Second City Entertainment just left a $2 super chat donation with the thumbs up. Thank you for that. And my best wishes again to Jexy and Big Vito. I'm sorry things couldn't work out between us, but they are always welcome back. They're welcome back to the channel anytime they want. The door is always open. And yes, Matthew Sullivan put it very well. Who would have thought that a website named NoDQ would be so peaceful? And I don't hold any grudges with people that have wronged me in the past, and there have been quite a few, I should say, in my opinion. But I don't hold grudges. I just keep moving forward. Like I said, the ship rolls on. We keep moving forward, upward and onward, and that's just my attitude about life and business. You just got to keep moving forward and keep doing what you're doing. I've been doing this for 20 years. It's been a great run, and I'm not close to stopping yet. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving forward. 20-year anniversary coming up in Chicago. And then, of course, there's another meetup in Los Angeles, which you guys can also check up. Hoping to see some of you at those meetups. And that's pretty much all I got for this episode of the NoDQ Live video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Can't really stress enough how much I appreciate you guys. I will be back later this week for NoDQ video. It's actually episode number 1050, so it will be an extended edition of NoDQ video. Almost said live. I screwed up last week, and I didn't even catch the botch. TJS was very quick to point it out, so damn you, TJS. Damn you. But check out NoDQ video, check out the NoDQ review, and stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest. That's all I got. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time for more.